Call on Members' Order of the Day number 5.
Affordable Healthcare Bill, first reading.
Mr Speaker.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
I move that the Affordable Healthcare Bill be now read a first time, and I nominate the Finance and Expenditure Committee to consider the bill.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The primary goal of the Affordable Healthcare Bill is to rebalance New Zealand's healthcare system. Our public health service is increasingly under pressure with growing debt, longer waiting lists and rationing of services, and a more than anxious Governor of the Reserve Bank, as evidenced at the Select Committee today. There is no doubt that health costs will escalate with a growing and ageing population. Now, the Affordable Healthcare Bill is a three-part omnibus bill which supports the public health system by encouraging those New Zealanders who can afford it to contribute to their own healthcare costs. Primarily, health insurance allows clients elective surgery, which shortens public waiting lists and gives greater choice of healthcare for the majority of New Zealanders. You would expect that to be music to the National Party's ears. Now, the Affordable Healthcare Bill, we want to try and be positive and helpful. The Affordable Healthcare Bill introduces 3 initiatives targeting costs to New Zealand's healthcare system, specifically because of larger numbers of older migrants, the cost to our economy of sick days taken by workers, and senior citizens giving up their health insurance at the very time they most need it. The Business and Economic Research Limited company, BERL, has provided cost-benefit reports on all 3 aspects of this omnibus bill. First is the requirement for all parent reunion category immigrants to take out 10 years compulsory health insurance as a condition of their residency. The minimum requirement is cover for elective surgery. Now, New Zealand approves, under this government, 4,000 to 5,000 parent category migrants every year. Well over 4,500 to 5,000 parent category migrants every year. Most are older migrants over the age of 60. They have to be in good health and pass financial requirements, so there should be and would be, if the system was operating as they claim it to be, no barriers to taking out health insurance. This requirement brings New Zealand in line with other countries' health insurance requirements for retirement visas. Now, BERL's cost-benefit analysis says this measure would yield net benefits to New Zealand of around 10 million in the first year, rising to around 100 million after 10 years. New Zealand would avoid bearing the elective health care costs of an additional almost 5,000 parent category migrants every year, year upon year. Most of these migrants are well over 60 years when their health costs rise rapidly. The fiscal costs of administering this measure are negligible, despite national MPs claiming it would be difficult to manage. Now, health insurance companies will create the product to suit, as they have abroad in other countries, and it would only be an extension of what is already offered. Remember, insurance does not cover primary, acute, emergency or community care, which all escalates for elderly. Primary, acute, emergency and elder care will still be paid for by the taxpayer. Now, a ridiculous conclusion was made by the Attorney General. You know, the Lord Denning of New Zealand and the Pacific, the finest legal mind that's ever come out of any university in this country. A ridiculous conclusion was made by him, who commissioned a report stating compulsory health insurance for migrants contravened the Bill of Rights. Now, migrants have a 2-year stand-down period for sickness and unemployment benefits, as well as other welfare benefits. Migrants also have a stand-down period of 10 years for New Zealand superannuation. So is the Attorney General saying, in effect, that there should be no stand-down periods in principle because they are contrary to the Bill of Rights? No, he's not, because he's talking humbug. Private health insurance shifts elective surgery from public waiting lists onto the private health system, shortening elective surgery waiting lists for all New Zealanders. Now, second, this bill proposes the removal of fringe benefit tax on employer health insurance provision. We couldn't put it better than a quote made by a certain man not so long ago, and he said this: "At the moment, any employer who offers health insurance gets hit by fringe benefit tax. I think that's crazy. The more we can encourage employers to provide wholesale medical insurance for their staff, the better. Elimination of the fringe benefit tax on health insurance in the workplace is a good start. Now, does that have a ring about it? You know what they say, plenty of pre-sales talk, but no after-sales service. Who was that man? Why, nobody other than the Prime Minister of this country, John Key. Now, the National Party over there, your leader, claims to be supporting this. Or he did when he was out there trying to win the vote. But then, like everything else, as soon as the election's over, he's forgotten it. And that's why so many businessmen are getting sick and tired. Because the guys all talk. Go to the Chamber of Commerce. Go to the business community around this country and they say, when's he going to do something? Well, the answer is probably never. But on this, he should do something. And you know what it is? Just keep his word. The Prime Minister made these statements as National Finance spokesperson. And more recently, in August this year. Now, surely he can remember things for 3 months. He reiterated his support for wiping fringe benefit tax on companies that pay health insurance for employees. Bill's report on removing FBT on workplace health insurance assesses immediate savings of $150 million to government coffers. This should be music to the ears of the National Party. The bill cost-benefit report states removing FBT on health insurance can be justified on both fiscal and non-fiscal grounds. No wonder New Zealand First is getting a name for such marvellous policy. Because we go out there and ask economists and they like it. Not only would this measure deliver clear fiscal benefits, but giving workers access to fast elective surgery reduces pain and suffering while awaiting medical procedures on long waiting lists. I reiterate the cost savings are twofold. First, remove FBT on health insurance would give significant cost savings by shifting elective surgery from public to private hospitals. Hear that? Private. There should be a resounding echo coming from that side of there. Shortening waiting lists for everybody. Second, removing FBT from health insurance would also increase GDP and tax revenues by reducing the amount of time people have off work or working less productively because they are waiting for hospital care while still trying to work. Ill health affecting the workforce, the country's workforce, results in the loss of about $10 billion of GDP each year. This equates to around $2.7 billion of tax revenues lost. Attending or waiting for medical procedures is the third most common reason for absenteeism. A huge economic loss to the country. Weeks, months, even years of being on hospital waiting lists also accounts for presenteeism. Now, they'll wonder what that word means. But all my colleagues know what it means. It's when workers come to work despite illness or stress and work at jobs with less productivity. Encouraging employers to participate in workplace healthcare, the same way as ACT gets workers back to work faster from illness, will lead to higher productivity and cost savings for business. Final part of the Omnibus Bill is a super gold 25% rebate on health insurance premiums, up to a maximum of $500 per annum. Many seniors will love this because they want to keep going and paying, but it's getting harder for them to pay with all the other costs, rates, power, food, government charges, all going up. Expenditure on elective surgery is around $700 million per year. And the estimates from Burl says that this could double by 2031. So it's a serious goer. To close, Mr. Speaker, this affordable healthcare bill aims to rebalance the health system of this country. The OECD average for private health spending is 28% with a target of 30%. Australia is 35%. New Zealand's private health spending has decreased to 17%. We trust Parliament will seriously consider this bill, which will boost uptake and retention of private health insurance. This will alleviate the burden on public health by freeing up resources and reducing waiting lists. And I say to my National Party colleagues, things are looking bad. We've just got the latest polls. They look real bad. Not for us. Not for us. There is an enduring, unending picture that's emerging now, month upon month. But they might just save some of their members if they went for this bill. And we look forward to support from the National Party in view of the Prime Minister's previous statements on wiping out fringe benefit tax. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Get ready to weep, boys.
It's
coming your way.
Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order. Hang on. Order, please. The question is that the motion be agreed to. David.